Greetings, duelists, and welcome to another video. So, this is Deck Report, Season 4, week number 6, if I'm not mistaken, if not week number 7. Today I'm going to show you my first deck profile, or my first deck report, involving Supreme Darkness. This weekend was the Supreme Darkness sneak peek, and they did an event. Basically, they did a tournament where if you paid with your entry packs, you're allowed to play in that tournament with post Supreme Darkness cards being legal. And first and second place got a mat, and third and fourth place got the Glorious Adra, which is one of the promo cards. Sadly, I did end up on third place. I got defeated at the second to last round on round 4. It was the Maliss mirror match. And I kind of just want to show you my list and talk about it a little bit more. This was a very fun event. I did face a couple of new stuff. I did face against Pure Ryziel with Eclipse Twins. I faced against the Maliss mirror match. You'll see a new card here later, very soon, that it just showcases you like that in volume. And I faced against a few other interesting decks. There was a Gladiator beast at that tournament. But yeah, without further ado, let's get to the profile, because there's a little bit to explain. So we have triple Dormouse, triple Rabbit, triple Cat, Dotscaper, that's it for the Cybers monsters, 3 Danger Nessie, 3 Danger Mothman, 2 Danger Jackalopes, 2 Tsushinokos, Chupacabra, and Bigfoot. Magdamon, Saronir, Boldrake, triple Druisworm, triple Lubellion. And the last 2 monsters are Chaos Valkyria and Chaos Dragon Levianeer. For spell cards, Ripple Underground, double Allure of Darkness, 1 Sarcophagus, 1 Terraforming, 1 Chaos Space, and 1 Branded Regained. And the last 3 cards are the 3 Malice Traps. Our main deck total is 45 cards. Extra deck: Lingaribo, Link Decoder, Lizardos, Splash Mage, Dark, SP, Nightmare Griffin and Cerberus, the 3 Malice Queens, Firewall Dragon, Nightmare Griffin, Access Code Talker, and A Bao A Qu, the Lightless Shadow. Side deck: Chaos Valkyria, Archer Christia, triple Droll and Logbird, triple Dimension Shifter, triple Phantasme, Feather Duster, and triple Impulse. Okay, so explanation time. You're probably wondering, what is this? Why are there 12 danger cards in my main deck? So the danger cards, just to show you, they do a couple of things for this deck. So the first thing that the dangers do is it fixes those very awkward Malice hands that the deck usually gets when you just draw like redundant copies of names or don't draw any names at all. Just filtering through your deck with your Malice names just helps you a lot with that. Another really cool thing about Malice now with the danger cards is Dangers function as very good extenders that can play through Artifact Lancia, which is another really good thing this deck also has. Yeah, so it fixes two problems that the deck has, but now there's another concrete reason for it, and the concrete reason is A Bao A Qu. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna showcase you a combo, and in that combo we're going to use specifically Danger Nessie. You can use any two dangers for this. But basically, we're going to do the same Maliss combo that we used to do. However, there are going to be a few slight differences. Like, right, what you see here on the screen is typical Maliss plays that you've seen by now. Here is where it changes a little bit. We're going to link away the cat, and then we're going to use Underground. The reason we're using Underground now is because this combo does not use Underground at all for your entire Maliss rotation. You take note, you are risking being Nibiru'd more by doing this, but that's where the danger pack, that's where the additional dangers come in, and not only that, that's where the 9 Bestials also come in. Let's proceed. We're going to grab the cat, we're going to link everything for Binder, we're going to banish TB11, we're going to bring back the Decoder, we're going to use the Binder to set the 06. We're going to link these for Firewall. We're going to use 06. We're going to bring back Ramson. You're going to bring back the Binder with her effect, and that's going to net us 1 draw. And that's very important for you to keep up the draws. We're going to use Firewall Dragon to grab back these two. We're going to link these two away into Nightmare Griffin. Griffin and Firewall both trigger. Firewall is going to summon the cat, and the Griffin is going to set 06 and draw us another card. So now we are +2 in card economy. Now, with the Griffin, we're going to discard the danger. And this is what I mean by the dangers being useful in this deck. Now the danger Nessie is going to grab us Jackalope. And now we're going to use Cat. Cat is going to draw us 2 additional cards. Now we're going to make the A Bao A Qu. The A Bao A Qu is going to discard the Jackalope. We're going to summon back the Griffin, and because Jackalope was discarded, Jackalope gets to trigger and summon Tsushinoko. Now we're going to grab the Tsushinoko and the Cheshire Cat, and we're going to summon SP Little Knight. And this is the end board. We have a +4 to our card economy in our hand. So we have enough fodder for the A Bao A Qu, and we might even draw defensive cards. We have SP Little Knight as an interruption, and we have the Nightmare Griffin lock. Like, board breakers aside, this is a very strong end board. I've actually won every single game I've done this combo. Now let's go back to the screen. Yeah, like the dynamic behind A Bao A Qu is just very enormous. There's the other thing about the dangers is whenever you're going second, you probably noticed how the main deck has almost no non-engine. The dangers themselves also function as non-engine because when you're fighting through boards, you can make your Nightmare monsters, and you can also make early SP Little Knight, you can also make SP early Dark Charmer. If you open no Maliss monsters, you can just summon Dark Charmer and crash your Dark Charmer, and that gets you to your Maliss line. So that's the additional value that you get from playing the dangers. Like, overall, the dangers just serve as very strong extenders. They can just distract your opponent and just make them plow through boards. So, what is the correct danger count? This is my first time testing, so I tested 12 in total. The fact that Jackalope and Tsushinoko both came back from the Forbidden Limited list at 2 copies also really helps with the deck because it makes it that you have more of the guaranteed extenders more than the situational extenders. I wanted to play multiple Chupacabras because Chupacabra is a fiend type monster, which means that you can make a Bao A Qu with it. However, I felt that it was just super unnecessary. You get to the nightmare monsters very easily with this deck, so I think this is the correct amount. I also vouched for one Bigfoot. At first, I was not playing Bigfoot, but another really cool thing that Bigfoot does for this deck is that it turns a Bao A Qu into 2 interruptions. I also I have done a Bao A Qu effect to discard Bigfoot and pop 2 cards, so that also comes up. Yeah, I'd say give the dangers a try if you get the chance. Like, it's very it looks very situational, but the last thing about the dangers that I kind of want to talk about, what makes it really cool in this deck, is that they don't conflict with neither Dominus Impulse, nor does it conflict with Dimension Shifter. All the danger monsters trigger when they're discarded. They don't care where they got discarded to. So, let's say for example, you're on the Dimension Shifter, and you discard Danger Tsuchinoko, the Tsuchinoko comes back. So, like, you can just plow through boards, like, if you shifted your opponent, or just easily OTK them. Also, like, discarding a Maliss name with a danger on the shifter just is ridiculously strong. So that's another thing to take note of. Now that we talked about that, let's talk about the Chaos Space Engine. So if you saw the Maliss combo video, which pretty much blew up, so like it's my most popular video in this channel now, you already know about the combo with Archlord Christia and Chaos Valkyria, right? So in order to make this engine consistent, I kind of just wanted to play a package that just makes sure that the draws from this deck were not very awkward, and just have the minimalistic amount of bricks possible. And the cards that made it possible is just playing like a bunch of Chaos Space targets. Sadly, Chaos Space cannot trigger the dangers because you're sending and not discarding, but it's not the end of the world, because whenever you see a Maliss monster with your Chaos Space, the combo just significantly gets better. Like, that M-board you saw like on the replay with SP Little Knight and like the Nightmare Griffin, you can end on those cards plus Firewall Dragon and plus other cards as well. Like, it's super easy to combo extend in this deck. The other reason why I opted for this is that I think Lubellion is really strong. I know that a lot of people don't like Lubellion when you're going second, but I feel like Lubellion is a lot better than people think when this card goes second. And let me explain by that. Lubellion can search you for the Druid's Worm. Druid's Worm can just summon itself, and if your opponent hasn't done anything here, you can tribute the Druid's Worm in order to summon the Lubellion. And then the Druid's Worm triggers, and then you can use Lubellion to just play Brand every game. So, like, your opponent is not letting all of that go through. There's no way he's letting all of that go through. Like, that's already too much card advantage on your favor. So the Lubellion, if anything, becomes a hard bait for your opponent's interruptions, at worst case scenario. If you go first and you like resolve Lubellion and you resolve your A Bao A Qu combo, like your M board is almost unbeatable. Like, you're going to have so many layers of disruption and follow-up that it's just ridiculous. Shoutouts to Angel Hernandez. Like, he did misplay in the last game, but he saw the power behind this card, like in our last duel, and yeah, this is just really strong. But yeah, that's it for Chaos Space. Now, in order to keep the deck consistent, there was contingency plans that we had to do, and the biggest contingency plan was like the non-engine. Like, as you can see, I only played engine cards. The deck is pretty much full gas, like full gas, no brakes kind of deck. Like, you just go and combo as hard as you can. You throw all your extenders through your opponent and see if they stick through. Not every game one is going to be winnable by doing this approach, but that's where the side deck comes in. And if you go first, like, it's just really, really strong. So, as far as my specific side deck goes, I just felt like these were the best cards to play, and I'm gonna have to explain a little bit. So, Supreme Darkness format is going to be a format with very oppressive decks. You cannot let those decks play the game, otherwise you will lose. We're talking about Mitsurugi, and we're talking about specifically Ryziel with Twins of the Eclipse. And that's not even counting White Forest, because White Forest could also be in the format. Since we have 3 Diabellstar and 3 Wanted, as opposed to the OCG, who they have only limited copies of them. So, I feel like these 3 cards are necessary evils in our deck. Like, you just need one of them to resolve, just to soften your opponent's board, and then use your Danger Engine to just plow through them entirely. When it comes to Shifter and Impulse specifically, we need to side out the Chaos Space Engine, because they do conflict with Lubellion and with Chaos Space and Big Chaos Valkyria. Outside of that, I think all these cards are, like, I'm not gonna say necessary. There are a lot of other options. Going back to Phantasme, obviously this card's for the Maliss mirror match. However, in this deck, there is extra value behind the Phantasme, because Phantasme can trigger the dangers. Like, danger being discarded by Phantasme whenever your opponent tries to trigger target your stuff, just means that your combo extending even further with them. So, yeah. I hope those explanations helped. I hope you found this like profile informative. So, yeah. My loss was to the Maliss mirror match, and it's at this point I feel like it's just a meme. I did get Lancia, but I did not lose specifically. I did not lose just because of Lancia. I lost because out of my 12 danger monsters, I only saw 1 Jackalope, and I saw no other extenders. If I would have drawn 1 additional danger, I would have won that game even through Lancia. And it's funny to say that because my opponent Lancia'd me twice in a row. Shoutouts to Brian, who I think finished 2nd place. So yeah, this is my Maliss profile. It's really, really fun. You don't have to test the same ratios, but I do highly encourage you to try out Danger Engine. It's just really good in this deck. It just like synergizes with A Bao A Qu really good. And yeah, stay tuned for more profiles. I'll probably be profiling other decks and talking about Supreme Darkness as a whole very, very soon. Yeah, and that's it from me. Keep practicing and keep dueling.